welcome back to All Nerd Everything. My name is Craig, and if you aren't aware, this is my channel where I discuss everything from comic books, movies, TV shows, etc., etc., etc. The usual boring, intro to my channel. But this week is a week to spend with your family. Of course, you have Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And seeing how tomorrow is Thanksgiving, I wanted to do and this week is dedicated to a lot of people spending time with their families. I wanted to do a video of top 10 movies to watch for Thanksgiving, whether it's with friends, family, doesn't matter. This is just my list, counting down from 10 to 1. This might not be everyone's list. Let me know your guys' list in the comments below. And starting off with number 10, The Nice Guys, a comedy, a buddy cop comedy, a buddy cop film starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. Now, this movie came out in 2016. I believe it tanked at the box office, but it has become a cult classic. This film is absolutely hysterical. The scene with Russell Crowe breaking Ryan Gosling's hand and him shrieking out in pain, it still rings in my ear, and it is still hilarious. I might have to go back and rewatch this film because I haven't watched it in a while. But this film is so damn good, and Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe have excellent chemistry together. So you guys have to watch this. Who wouldn't want to watch, a comedy film on, with your family? I think it makes it 10 times more special watching it with people that you care about. But next up, number 9, a musical, Mary Poppins, the original Mary Poppins. Now, I've said before, I'm not big on a lot of musicals. However, Mary Poppins, I grew up on this. I absolutely love Mary Poppins. The the Spoonful of Sugar, that's one of my favorite songs from the original Mary Poppins. Every single song on this movie is an absolute banger. And who Mary Poppins, she is just a absolute delight. I feel like this will be a very great movie to watch with your family to, uplift everyone's spirits because how positive and upbeat Mary Poppins is and how great she is around. She's just a very people's person. So I feel like this movie would be very perfect for everyone to watch. Even if you don't typically like musicals, this is a really great vibe for, the Thanksgiving and just to watch with your family. Next up, number 8, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I absolutely love this film. This is one of my favorite films of 2023. The animation, pitch perfect. It is the creme de la creme. It is absolutely phenomenal. I wouldn't really say I'm a die-hard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I watched some of the stuff growing up. However, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a die-hard like I am with, certain other stuff like Power Rangers or Marvel. But this movie, the animation, the soundtrack, the voice cast, this is absolutely great. And what I really love about this film is that they actually had teenage actors voice the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think that's the first time we've seen that because they've mostly been adults. And I can't wait till we get a sequel. But I feel like this is a really great film to watch with a family because I feel like it's a mixed bag when it comes to merging two different audiences, uh, the kids audience and people that grew up with the franchise. So I feel like this is a perfect mix of two different generations to bring together to just watch a very fun movie about Ninja Turtles kicking ass. So yeah, my number 8 is TMNT Mutant Mayhem. My number 7 is Rain Man, starring Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. I still have to get a movie poster of that movie somewhere up in my room. But I absolutely love this film, and it's just a good road trip film. It feels like a good road trip film for this type of season, for like fall season, and it's a great film about forgiveness, and Tom Cruise character has to learn and taking accountability, and he has to learn how to forgive himself, to forgive his father for his wrongdoings, and also just realize that he's been a kind of a dick, his entire life, and which is probably why his father didn't leave him anything major other than the car, or didn't even tell him that he had a brother, because he's kind of been kind of feels self entitled, and he's a very big narcissist. This is just a really good road trip about two brothers um, reuniting since you know since Charlie, Tom Cruise's character Charlie, was a baby. Just a really good road trip film about brothers, and um, Raymond Raymond learning how to um, accept Charlie as his brother, and also Charlie taking learning not to be so dickish, if I should say. But yeah, my number 7 is Rain Man. My number 6 is A Quiet Place. Now I know what you're thinking: a horror film for Thanksgiving. Why a horror film? Well, one reason, the if you guys have seen the special features for this film, John Krasinski, he describes this film as not, yes, it's a horror film, but it's, to him, he says that this film is about a man doing anything to protect his family. So I had to have this movie on the list, and plus it's very special to me because this film taught me, made me fall in love with sign language, and made me want to learn to communicate with hard of hearing people. And I study every day, even if it's like 10 minutes. I have an app on my phone, and I also have a book on my shelf that I study every day. Even if I can get like 15-20 minutes in of relearning the same things, I'll do that over and over again. But yeah, this is just it's a horror film, but a man willing to do anything to protect his family. Yeah, A Quiet Place. Next up, number 5, you have King Richard, starring Will Smith. Now, a lot of people were initially upset about this film upon its release, and complaining that it's not about the Williams sisters, and that it's about the dad. But they were producers on this film, so if it bothered them, then they wouldn't have done it. And Will Smith worked very close to them, so he knew what kind of image they wanted to portray their father as, because their father, you know, helped them a lot during their career. And plus, there aren't really a whole lot of films that portray black men, particularly black fathers, as as good, or protective of their children. There is a lot of that, and this film is absolutely great. I think Will Smith won his Oscar way too late. I think he should have won it for Ali and Pursuit of Happiness, but that's another topic. This is a fatherly type film about the one about Richard, about the Williams sisters' father, you know, looking out for them and caring for them, and just trying to make sure that they succeed. And yeah, it's just a really great family film. So how can I not put this on the list? So next up, you have Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is one of my favorite A24 films and one of my favorite films like ever. In my letterbox review, when this film came out, I said that it is one of the best depictions. It does multiverse better than Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. And I still stand by that statement. This is one of my favorite A24 films, and the Oscars were deserved, except Jamie Lee Curtis kind of either gave that to Stephanie, who actually, was actually who actually had a tear jerking performance in this film. She was very hilarious. She was emotional. She was vulnerable. All of the above, and yeah, the fact that they gave it to Jamie, who was just a comedic relief, is ridiculous. Or they could have given it to Angela. But yeah, I'm still upset about that. But this film, particularly why I put this film on the list, is because it's about a woman, a mother, Michelle Yeoh, about a mother who's suffering from generational trauma, and she constantly ignores her family is falling apart based on the trauma that she suffered from her father. So she doesn't even know that she's, you know, emotionally neglecting her husband and also her daughter. And in the end, if she keeps it up, she's going to be lonely and miserable. And that's the whole point of this film, is that no matter where you are in the universe, or if there's a different dimension, wherever, nothing matters. And she's on her daughter is on the verge of, taking her own life, and she has to, help save her. She has to heal from her trauma that her father bestowed upon her, and save her family before it's too late. And it's just really, really emotional. How how emotional and this film is, and very funny at the same time. And yes, this film is just very incredible. Next up, number three, The Incredibles, one of the best Pixar films, one of the best superhero films ever, in my opinion. The best this is the best Fantastic Four film, and anyone will tell you that, because all the other ones have been duds. And yes, this they got it. Pixar got it right before any of the live action films got it right, and I feel like this is just a good film to watch with your family, about superheroes, and a dad that's feels like a, a dad that's having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. So he's having a midlife crisis. So he becomes a super again to fulfill that that emptiness that he feels, not necessarily because of his family, but because he wants to relive the glory days. And yes, one of the best Pixar films ever. Watch this for Thanksgiving. Next up, number two, you have Fences, starring Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. I am still upset Denzel did not win Best Actor at the Academy Awards for this film. Now, this film is based on the stage play by August Wilson. I haven't seen the stage play. I don't know how much it compares and contrasts to the stage play, but this is absolutely phenomenal. This is another film where, kind of like how I said about Everything Everywhere All at Once, where the not only do I think the setting of this film during fall season in Philadelphia, I think the setting is right for to watch around Thanksgiving, but also because of Denzel Washington's character Troy, kind of like what I said about Everything Everywhere All at Once with uh, Eleanor's character, Michelle Yeoh's character. I can't remember her name. Troy and Michelle Yeoh's character are the same, in which they suffered a lot of emotional trauma from their dad, and but the difference is Troy was physically abused by his father, and he emotionally neglects his children and also drinks his problems away. And he is just a very shitty father, and not only that, but a very shitty husband. And he is taking his anger out on his son Corey, who wants to become an athlete. And Troy feels does feel envious of him because he didn't accomplish. He was too old to get into the major leagues, so he doesn't want his son to accomplish what he wasn't able to accomplish. Not only that, but Rose, played by Viola Davis, feeling like that she isn't, I wouldn't say good enough for Troy, but she feels like she needs to be there for him, and that she there's a lot of stuff that she could have done, and there's a lot of stuff that was important in her life that she skipped out on because she decided to be there for Troy as a loving wife, and she all of a sudden he decides to cheat on her. So yes, really great film about you know um, generational trauma being passed on, and you know forgiveness and healing. And yes, it's really great. I absolutely great performances all around. And now my number one pick for top 10 films you should watch for Thanksgiving is Knives Out. Now, this film absolutely blew me away. This is still one of my favorite films ever. The ensemble cast, the the score, the costume and production design, absolutely pitch perfect. I love the southern accent Daniel Craig does in this film. I'm not sure if it needed to be spanned on into, a trilogy, but however, I it this might just be me. I do think that the first one is better than the second one. The second one is still, you know, uh really good. However, it I feel like it doesn't compare to the first one. It's really great seeing Chris Evans playing this very condescending narcissist, um, mama's boy who thinks he's entitled to his granddaddy's money. And all of these people are pieces of shit. And this film made Ana de Armas, and her career has been phew, ever since this film. And I can't wait to see what she does in the John Wick spin-off film. I can't remember what the title of it is called, but I know that film is going to absolutely kick ass. But Knives Out, absolutely perfect film to watch for the fall season. And this around Thanksgiving, I feel like this is a perfect film to watch, considering the subject matter, and it also takes place during fall. But if you guys have not seen any of these films, I would suggest get on it ASAP. Is there any that I left off of the list? Let me know what you guys think. But until then, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.